Live from Phoenix, Arizona, this is The Kevin Smith Show.
Comments and views expressed on The Kevin Smith Show are those of the people that make them and do not necessarily reflect the views of Kevin Smith, The Kevin Smith Show, or its affiliates or sponsors.
One that, as the story broke, I reported it to you. It is the story of Dr. Lakazar Filipov. He is a preeminent physicist in Bulgaria. He is the deputy director of the Space Research Institute, which is part of the Bulgarian Academy of Science. When the story was breaking, I said, if all of this is true, this is huge. And I said at the time, I have not had time to run down the facts about Dr. Filipov and to see that he actually does exist and that he actually holds the position that the news report said he was holding. But I said, because it was something that was reported in the Sofia Echo, which is a newspaper in the capital city of Bulgaria, because of that, I had reason to believe that Dr. Filipov actually exists and that he actually holds the position they reported that he held. Well, the reason I didn't have time when I was reporting it is because the story was breaking just as we were going on the air. And I simply had no time to do that. But the next day, I did do that. And Dr. Filipov actually does exist, and Dr. Filipov actually is who the news report said he is. Now, that news report said that Dr. Filipov was saying that extraterrestrials do exist. They're among us. They're all around us. And we don't even recognize it. And that in that article, it said that we are in communications with them. And that article said that they appeared at some meeting and answered some questions. And so that's pretty earth-shaking news. Wouldn't you agree? That is earth-shaking news. Well, we were able to not only confirm that Dr. Filipov exists and that he is who the paper says he is, we were able to confirm that, at least I think we were able to confirm, that that report was accurate. But stay tuned for an amazing turn of events. Actually, it's not Lukazar, it's Lakazar Filipov. Is, in fact, a very, very prestigious scientist. Now, I've got a file here that I've been accumulating, because let me tell you what we did here. After I did that breaking news, I talked with Jerry Wills about all of this, and Jerry volunteered to do something that needed to be done. and that is he phoned Dr. Filipoff and talked to him. And I started gathering information because, and we'll let Jerry tell about the conversation he had with Dr. Filipoff, but I started gathering information because this story appeared to be growing. It appeared to have some magnitude and appeared to be growing. And one of the reasons, here's Dr. Filipoff's curriculum vitae. And he is a graduate of the National Physical and Mathematical Gymnasium, which has a completely different meaning, gymnasium does, in Eastern Europe than it has here. That would be like a very highly specialized high school. He is a graduate of the physical faculty of the Moscow State University in Sternberg State Astronomical Institute. Diploma thesis on non-stationary disk accretion of strongly magnetized neutron stars. That would be a master's degree here in the United States. He is a graduate of the Space Research Institute at the Soviet Academy of Sciences and Physical Faculty of the Moscow State University, postgraduate research under the leadership of academician Zeldovich, and then candidate of physical mathematical sciences with thesis defended on non-stationary disk accretion. Now, when it says candidate, our word for that in our educational system is doctorate. So he has hefty background in physics, astronomical physics. And then positions that he's held: head of High Energy Astrophysical Group of the Central Laboratory for Space Research, 1983 to 1987. Since 1988, he's been the head of Space Astronomy Division of High Energy Astrophysical Department at the Space Research Institute. 1988 to 1990, Deputy Director of the Space Research Institute. Since 1990, Vice President of the Scientific Council at the Space Research Institute. Since 1995, Vice Director of Sciences of Space Research Institute. Now, this CV, I've just given you part of it. Look at this. This CV is 8 pages long. This guy is, in physics, a heavyweight. Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kevin.
Jerry, on the same night that I broke the story, I think it was the same night, let me refer to my notes here.
Yes.
You and I talked about this, and because of the time difference between here and Bulgaria, you had to wait until midnight of November 24th. At midnight, you gave him a call. That would have been about 8 o'clock in the morning in Bulgaria, and you had a conversation with Dr. Filipoff. Tell me about that.
Yes, well, it was really quite a thing. I had no idea whether I would reach him or not, and I had no idea if he spoke English. So you can imagine my surprise when he answered the phone. When I was trying to tell him why I was calling, he was a little reserved to begin with, and then as we chatted a little further, he opened up more and more to me. During that conversation, my goal was twofold. I wanted to find out exactly what had gone on. In other words, if there were extraterrestrials there at their meeting, I wanted to know the details.
Now, let me pause right here. You read the same article that I read on the air. And in that article, does it or does it not say that extraterrestrials answered questions at the meeting?
It says it was even claimed that some alien species were present during a media statement in which they had answered more than 30 questions put forward by the Bulgarian Academy of Science, BAS. And that, to me, says that there were aliens there answering questions.